Okay, so next problem is analysis of portal frames with symmetry. Okay, now what happens, there may be some condition, like this, when we will be having a frame like this, when we will be having some frame like this. Okay, and we will be having some frame like this. Let us consider we have some frame like this. Okay, here the loading is W1, this loading is W2. Okay, you can see here in this particular problem, you can see here this particular frame is a symmetric frame. You can see if we draw one line like this, then the left part, this left part will be replica of this right part. This will be the replica of right part. So it means that this particular frame is symmetric about this line. Let us consider this line is xx, therefore this particular frame is symmetric about this particular line xx, this line xx. Okay, at the same time, so here we consider that the line, the first condition is this, the line of symmetry passes through, the column. You can see here the line of symmetry passes through column. Okay, in such type of problems, the number of bays are even. You can see here their total number of bays are 1 and 2. So whenever there will be the axis of symmetry is passing through the column, the total number of bays will be even. Okay, at the same time, there may be another case, let us consider we are having some frame like this. Okay, and this particular frame is subjected to some load W per unit length, W1 per unit length, and some load at this beam W2 per unit length. Okay, now in this case, you can see here, if we draw one line or one central line. Okay, let us consider this span, this total span is L meter, and if we draw one line at a distance L by 2 from any of the end, okay, we can see here this particular frame is also symmetric, but the line of symmetry is passing through the center of your beam. The line of symmetry is passing through the center of your beam. So this is the case number 2. Now with the help of this Carney's method, we can analyze the problem by using advantage of this symmetry, because if we analyze for this particular case, let us consider for this case number A, we can consider this particular beam is like, this particular frame is like this only, and just we need to analyze this much part, of this particular beam, and we can get the total bending moment for this particular frame. Okay, because whatever bending moment will be here, let us consider some bending moment is here, then the same bending moment will be here. Okay, Okay, so like this we can use the symmetry of frames for analysis using Carney's method. Okay, so two different types of symmetry are available. The first one is when the line of symmetry passes through your columns. Okay, then the total number of bays will be even number, whereas the second type of problem will be when the line of symmetry passes through the midspan of your beam. In such cases, the total number of bays are odd. Okay, firstly we will see the problem on line of symmetry passing through the column. Okay, now because of this symmetry, first we will be seeing this, that is line of symmetry passing through the columns. Now because of this symmetry, the joint on the line of symmetry do not rotate, and hence they may be treated as a fixed end. Let us consider we are having some beam or some frame like this. Okay, we are having some frame like this. Okay, let us consider we are having some frame like this, and you can see the total number of bays are 1 and 2. That is 2 bays are there. Okay, if we draw one line of symmetry, if we draw one line of symmetry, you can see this is, let us consider this span is L, this span is L. Therefore the line of symmetry is passing through the column. Line of symmetry is passing through column. While line of symmetry is passing through column, because the whatever portion of this beam is on right side is a replica of the part of your beam frame on this is your left side, this is your left side, this is the replica of whatever part of your frame is there on the right side of line of symmetry. Okay, now in this case you can see here what happens, as the this is a portal frame with symmetry, then what happens, this particular here, let us consider this is D and this is E. The joint D and E does not rotate. This joint D and E does not rotate, and therefore what we can do, we can consider this particular frame like this also. We can consider this frame like this also, the joint D and E can be considered as a fixed support, and we can determine the bending moments. Whatever the bending moments are here, the same bending moment will be here, because it is a symmetric frame. Okay, so we'll see some examples on this type of frames or portal frames. Okay, now using symmetry, the bending moment values are noted for the half of the portion of your portal frame, and due to symmetry there will not be any bending moment in the columns through which the line of symmetry is passing. Okay, this is the principle. Okay, we'll start with the problem. Okay, this is some example of this is an example of when the line of symmetry is passing through the column. The line of symmetry is passing through column here. Okay, you can see here total two number of bays are there, means the total bays are even bays. Here you can see this line of symmetry is passing through the mid span of this beam, having a span of L meter, Okay, so these two types of problems are there which can be used for analysis, which will be analyzing by using Kani's method, considering the effect of symmetry. Okay, so this is our problem. The problem statement is analyze the symmetric frame shown in figure. Make use of symmetry for the analysis of given frame. The moment of inertia of beam is twice that of moment of inertia of column. Moment of inertia of beams is twice that of moment of inertia of columns, means the moment of inertia of columns is I, then the moment of inertia of beam will be twice I. For this particular beam, for this particular frame, the span CDJ, it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 60 kilonewton meter throughout. The span BEH, it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 90 kilonewton per meter throughout. Okay, the moment of inertia of columns for all columns is I. Moment of inertia of columns or all columns is I. Moment of inertia of all the beams is twice I. The height of bottom story is 4 meter, whereas the height of top story is 3 meter. Okay, now this is a problem of portal frame without sway. Why without sway? Because this particular frame is does not have any asymmetrical loading or asymmetrical properties of columns and beams. Okay, at the same time the supports are not asymmetric or unsymmetric. Therefore this is a problem of portal frame without sway. At the same time you can see here, if we draw one central line, let us consider this line is XX, this line is XX, then this particular problem will be you can see here, for this particular portal frame, if we draw one line XX, the left portion of this particular frame on the central line is a replica of right portion, is the replica of right portion. Okay, it is the replica of right portion, and therefore we can use the we can take the advantage of symmetry. So this particular beam we can consider this particular frame we can consider like this also. We can consider this particular frame like this also. Okay, as there is no rotation takes place at joint D, no rotation takes place at joint D, therefore this joint D and joint E, this joint D and joint E, this can be considered as a fixed support. This can be considered as fixed support. We will have here joint A, whereas this particular frame is subjected to a load of 60 kilonewton per meter, and this span BE, it is subjected to a load of 90 kilonewton per meter, 90 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this is the equivalent frame. This can be considered as an equivalent frame. Now if we analyze this particular equivalent frame by using Carney's method, it will be very easy. Rather than completely analyzing the total frame, if we analyze this much frame only, whatever bending moment and shear force will be here, the same bending moment and shear force will be here. If whatever bending moment is here, the same bending moment will be here, whatever bending moment is here, the same bending moment will be here also. Okay, whatever bending moment is here, okay, the same bending moment will be here because of symmetry. Okay, so this is how this equivalent frame is developed. You can see here the equivalent frame will look like this, and we have to analyze this particular equivalent frame. Okay, so we'll start with the problem. Okay, so this is the particular frame we have to analyze. Okay, so this is the frame which we need to analyze. Okay, and the equivalent frame will be like this. Okay, this joint D and E will be considering these two joints as a fixed joint, and will be considering only half portion of this particular portal frame. For analysis purpose, because of symmetry. For remaining portion, the bending moment will be replica of whatever bending moment is there for this particular frame A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Okay, so this will be your equivalent frame. Okay, so we will analyze this equivalent frame. So step number one, as usual, step number one will be calculate fixed end moment. Okay, this is the step number one. Okay, so MFAB, so we'll calculate for this AB BC. You can see there is no loading is there. For this span AB and BC. There is no loading is there. Therefore, the fixed end moment for span AB and for span BC, that will be 0. Okay. Therefore, this MFAB is equal to MFBA is equal to MFBC BC is equal to MF CB. This will be equal to 0. This will be equal to 0. Okay. Next, for span CD, for span CD, MFCD, this MFCD, this is equal to, this will be minus WL square divided by 12, minus WL square divided by 12. Okay, minus WL square divided by 12. We have W is equal to 60, so this will be minus 60. Minus 60, L is 5 meters, so 5 square divided by 12. So this will be equal to, minus 125 kilonewton meter, minus 125 kilonewton meter. Okay, similarly this MFDC, this will be equal to WL square by 12, WL square divided by 12. So this is equal to 125 kilonewton meter. This will be plus 125 kilonewton meter. Now for this beam BE, MFBE, this will be equal to minus WL square upon 12, again WL square divided by 12. We have W is equal to 90 kilonewton per meter, 90 kilonewton per meter. So consider this as minus 90 into L is 5 square divided by 12. So this will be equal to minus 187.5 kilonewton meter. Similarly, MFEB, this will be equal to plus WL square upon 12, that is 187.5 kilonewton meter, 187.5 kilonewton meter. This is how the fixed end moments are calculated. Step number 2 is to find out the rotation factor. So calculate rotation factor. This is the step number 2. Rotation factor. We have to calculate the rotation factor. Now for calculating the rotation factor, we need to prepare a table like this. One table like this. Sorry. And I'll copy this image. Sorry, I'll copy this one, paste it here. Okay, now rotation factor, we know that rotation factor is given by the equation. We know that the rotation factor, this rotation factor is given by the equation. Rotation factor is equal to minus half into Ki divided by summation K, Ki divided by summation Ki, where Ki is the stiffness of individual member and summation Ki is the summation of stiffness of all the members meeting at a particular joint. Okay, now we have to determine the rotation factor at joint B and at joint C. Now at joint B, let us consider joint B. Now let us consider the joint B. Okay, now at joint B we will be having three members, BA, BE and BC, BA, BE and BC, like this. So we have to first find out the stiffness for each of the individual member. So stiffness for BA will be 4 EI by L. For the span BA, the stiffness will be 4 EI by L. I will directly write down 4 EI stiffness. Here the moment of inertia is I, here moment of inertia is twice I and twice I. So 4 EI by L, span of BA is 4 meter, this is 4 meter, this is 4 meter, this is 3 meter, this is 3 meter, and for BC it is again, I think it is 5 meter, sorry, for BE it is 5 meter, for BE this span is 5 meter. Okay, now this will be equal to EI. So stiffness for BA will be equal to EI. Now for stiffness for BE, it will be 4 EI by L. So 4 E for member BE, the moment of inertia is twice I. Therefore, consider this as 4E into twice I divided by L. L is equal to 5 meters. So this will be equal to 1.6 EI. 1.6 EI. Similarly, for member BC, the stiffness will be 4 EI by L. 4 EI divided by L, where here L is equal to 3 meter. I will directly take it 4 by 3, that is equal to 1.33 EI. 1.33 EI. Summation of stiffness at joint B, this will be equal to EI plus 1.6 EI plus 1.33 EI. So this will be equal to 3.93 EI. 3.93 EI. Therefore, the rotation factor, for member BA, rotation factor for member BA, this will be equal to this EI divided by 3.93 multiplied by minus 0.5. So this value will be equal to, just use this equation, just using this equation we get the value of rotation factor here minus 0.127, here we will be getting minus 0.204, here we will be getting minus 0.169. Similarly, we have to calculate the rotation factor for CB and CD, which are at joint C. So stiffness for CB, this will be equal to 4 EI by L. 4 EI divided by L. For span CB is 3 meters, so this will be 3. So this will be equal to 1.33 EI. 1.33 EI. Similarly, for CD, for this span CD, the span is 5 meter and stiffness will be 4E. We have I equal to twice I, therefore 4E into twice I divided by span is 5 meter. So this will be equal to 1.6 EI. 1.6 EI, and total summation of K at joint C, this will be equal to 2.93 EI. 2.93 EI. By using this rotation factor equal to minus half into Ki divided by summation K, we get the value of rotation factor for CB is equal to minus 0.227, and for CD it will be minus 0.273. Okay, so like this the rotation factors are calculated at joint B and C. Okay, so next step will be preparation of iteration table. Next step will be preparation of iteration. Now for further analysis, or for next step will be the preparation of next step is preparation of iteration table. So iteration table is prepared like this. At this joint C, we will consider one big large box, and inside that one small box is considered. Okay, at this joint B, we will consider another large box, and inside that large box one small box will be considering. Okay, here in the small box we will write down the summation of fixed end moment of all the members meeting at joint C. Here we will be having some fixed end moment, here we will be having some fixed end moment. Okay, here again we will be having some fixed end moment, will be here. We will write down the fixed end moment values like this. Again we will be having some fixed end moment here. Okay, here we will be having fixed end moment. Okay, here we will be having some fixed end moment. Here we will be having some fixed end moment. So here in this box, in this particular box, we will be write down the fixed end moment, summation of fixed end moment at joint B, at joint C. We will write down the summation of fixed end moment at joint C in this particular table. So this will be sum of these two fixed end moment. Okay, at this joint B, we will write down the summation of fixed end moment here in this table, and this summation of fixed end moment is sum of this fixed end moment plus this particular fixed end moment plus this particular fixed end moment. Okay, then next what we will be doing is will be, then we'll write down the rotation factor, then we'll write down the rotation factor for I think here C is there and here we have B. For CD, here we'll be writing down rotation factor for CD. Okay, here we'll be writing down rotation factor for CB. Here we'll be writing down the rotation factor for BC. Here we'll be writing down for BE. Here we'll be writing down rotation factor for BA, like this. Okay, like this we'll be writing down the rotation factor. Here we'll be writing down summation of fixed end moment. Here we'll be writing down summation of fixed end moment. Then the values of fixed end moment are written here, that is CD. Okay, this will be MFCD, MFDC. Here we'll be writing down MFCB, MFBC. Here we'll be writing down MFBE. Here we'll be writing down MFBA, and here we'll be writing down MFAB. Then we'll go for the iteration. Okay, iteration. Next step will be iteration. So the same table is prepared like this. Okay, you can see here the values of fixed end moments are written here, values of fixed end moments are written here, fixed end moment. Okay, here we will be having 0 fixed end moment, 0 fixed end moment, 0 fixed end moment, and 0 fixed end moment, because there is no load on this AB and BC. AB and BC, there is no load. Then next step, we have written down summation of fixed end moment here, at joint C. You can see here the total here will be 0. So 0 minus 125, that will be equal to minus 125. Here at this joint B, we will write down the summation of fixed end moment. Here we have fixed end moment 0, here we have fixed end moment 0, and here we have fixed end moment is equal to minus 187.5. So total summation of fixed end moment will be equal to minus 187.5. We'll write down the rotation factor. For this CB here. CB is here. Then the rotation factor for CD is written here. Then rotation factor for BC is written here. Rotation factor for BE is again written here, and rotation factor for BA is written here, like this. Next step will be iteration. Next step will be going for the iteration. Okay. So this is our iteration table. Okay, all the values are already I have written all the fixed end moment and other values here only. Okay, so this is our iteration table. So we have written down the summation of fixed end moment, rotation factor, and fixed end moment here. Okay, so cycle 1. In cycle 1, we will first find out the rotation contribution at joint C. Now at joint C, so okay, step number 3 is prepare iteration table. Okay, this is the step number 3. Our formula for calculating the rotation contribution, is rotation contribution. We have rotation contribution is equal to rotation contribution at far end, plus summation of fixed end moment multiplied by rotation factor for that particular beam. Okay, so first we will find out, this is your joint C, this is your joint B. Okay, first we will find out the rotation factor for this member CD. Now Now for CD, for member CD, this for member CD, rotation contribution will be m dash CD. This will be equal to rotation contribution at far end, rotation contribution at far end. Okay, you can see here no rotation contribution is there at joint D. Let us consider this as 0. Let us here also there is no rotation contribution. Let us consider this as 0. So rotation contribution at far end, this will be this 0 plus this 0. So this will be equal to 0 plus summation of fixed end moment at joint C. Here we have summation of fixed end moment is equal to minus 125. So 0 minus 125, 0 minus 125 multiplied with rotation factor, of minus 0.273, minus 0.273. So we will get this value is equal to 34.13, 34.13. You can also calculate this on your calculator, minus 125 into minus 0.273. So this will be equal to 34.13. Just write down this value here, 34.13. Okay, next is we will find out the rotation contribution for this CB, for CB. Now for CB, okay, we will find out the rotation contribution for CB. Okay, we will find out the rotation contribution for this CB. Now rotation contribution at CB, that is m dash CB, this is equal to rotation contribution at far end. Here we have for CB rotation contribution, here we have 0, here we have 0, therefore this will be 0 plus summation of fixed end moment at this joint C, it is minus 125. So minus 125 multiplied by rotation factor here minus 0.227. So minus 0.227. This will be equal to 28.375. Just write down this here, 28.375. Sorry. Okay, just a minute. I'll just move this because it will overlap. Okay, it should not overlap, values should not overlap, and this will be 28.375. Okay, similarly next we have to find out the rotation contribution. For members meeting at this joint B, So rotation contribution for BC, that is m dash BC, this is equal to rotation contribution at far end. Here we will have rotation contribution, nothing is there, we will consider 0. Here nothing is there, we will consider 0. But here we have plus 28.375 plus 28.375. So this will be equal to 0 plus 28.375. Again plus fixed end moment at joint B. Here we have minus 187.5. So minus 187.5, multiply this with rotation factor. Rotation factor for BC, this is equal to minus 0.167 minus 0.169. This value will be equal to 26.89. You can write this here, 26.89. Okay, similarly we can find out the rotation factor for BE. For BE, this value will be same. Okay, this value will remain same for next rotation contribution calculation. Only we have to change the rotation factor. For BE, rotation factor is minus 0.204. So this will be minus 0.204, and this value will be equal to 32.46. So write down here 36 sorry 32.46 here, 32.46 here. Now next for BA, now next for BA, the rotation contribution for BA will be rotation contribution at far end, that is this 0 plus this 0, this 0 plus this 0, plus this 28.375 plus this 28.375 minus fixed end moment here, that is minus 187 minus 187.5. We have to just change this, just a minute. We have to just change this rotation, we have to change this rotation factor only. So just change this, it will be minus 0.127, minus 0.127. so we get this value for M dash BA. This value will be equal to 20.20. So just write down this value here, 20.20. This is how the cycle 1 is completed. The cycle 1 is completed like this. Okay, step number 2, the next cycle, okay, for next cycle again go to this joint C, just a minute. Okay, again go to this joint C, okay, and at joint C will start with the cycle number 2. So rotation contribution for CD, M dash CD, this will be equal to rotation contribution at far end. This is 0 and this is 26.89. So this will be 0 plus 26.89 plus fixed end moment at joint C, that is minus 125. Multiply this with rotation factor of minus 0.273. So we will get this is equal to 26.7, okay, 26.78. Just write down this value here, 26.78. Similarly, next we have to calculate the rotation factor or rotation contribution for CB, okay. Now rotation contribution for CB, okay, just a minute. Now next rotation contribution, just a minute, it's not working, the software hangs after some time. Now we'll calculate the rotation contribution for CB. That will be M dash CB, equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is this 0 plus this 26.89. So this will be 0 plus 26.89 plus fixed end moment at joint C, that is minus 125. So minus 125 into rotation contribution for CB, that is minus 0.227. So this will be equal to this rotation contribution. This will be equal to 22.27. So just write down this value here, 22.27. Okay, you can also cut these values as these are now not required. Okay, it may create some confusion, so we can also cut these values if required. If you think it is okay, you can cut that values also. Okay, so this is 22.27. Okay, now we'll go to this joint B, and find out the rotation contributions. Okay, now for this member BC, rotation contribution, this for this member BC rotation contribution for BC M dash BC, this will be equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is 22.27, rotation contribution at far end 0 0. Okay, so we don't consider that, plus fixed end moment at joint B, that is minus 187.5. So multiply this with rotation factor here is minus 0.169. So this will be equal to, for BC it will be equal to 27.92. Just write down here 27.92. Okay, next step will be to find out the rotation contribution for member BE. We have to find out the rotation contribution. So for member BE, okay, for member BE M dash BE, rotation contribution BE is equal to rotation contribution at far end, we know this 22.27. so 22.27 plus fixed end moment at B, that is minus 187.5, multiply this value with rotation factor of minus 0.204. So this will be equal to 33.71. Just write down this value here, 33.71. okay, 33.71. Next we have to find out the rotation contribution. For member BA, okay, so rotation contribution for BA M dash BA, this is equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is this 22.27. so 22.27 plus fixed end moment here, that is minus 187.5, multiply this with rotation factor of 0.127 minus 0.127. so fixed end moment, the rotation contribution here, this will be equal to 20.98. Just write down this value here, 20.98. you can also cut these older values, if it makes some confusion, you can cut these older values. Okay, next this cycle 2 is completed. This cycle 2 is completed, but you can see there is a huge difference between these two values. Okay, these two values, there is some differences there. Until and unless we get the very negligible difference, we should not stop this iteration procedure. Okay, so we'll go to next step, or cycle number 3. We will go to cycle number 3. Okay, cycle number 3. So go to this joint C again and do the iteration procedure. So for member CD, for this member CD, we will find out the rotation contribution. For CD. So M dash CD, this is equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is 0, this 27.92. so this will be equal to 0 plus 27.92 plus summation of fixed end moment, it is minus 125 into rotation factor, this is minus 0.273. so minus 0.273. so this will be equal to 26.50. Write down here 26.50. Similarly, we can find out the rotation contribution for CB. All the values will be same, only rotation factor will change. All the values will be same, only rotation factor will be changed, that is M dash CB. Will be equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is this 0 plus this 27.92 minus summation of fixed end moment at joint C. So this will be multiplied by rotation contribution of minus 0.227. so 0.227. so this will be equal to 22.03, 22.03, 22.03. Similarly, now go to this joint B. Similarly, now go to this joint B. Go to this joint B. Go to this joint B. Okay, at this joint B, first find out the rotation contribution for BC. Find out the rotation contribution for BC. Okay, now the rotation contribution for BC we have to find out. Okay, now this rotation contribution for BC, this rotation contribution for BC just a minute. Now rotation contribution for BC, that is M dash BC, this is equal to rotation contribution at far end, that is 22.03, this 0 plus this 0, so this is equal to 22.03 minus plus fixed end moment at joint B, that is minus 187.5, multiply this with rotation factor here for BC it is minus 0.169, so this will be equal to M dash BC, this will be equal to 27.96, just write down here 26.96. Now we have to find out the rotation contribution for BE, these values will be same, only rotation factor will be changing, this will be minus 0.204, so this value will be equal to 33.75, so write down this value here for BE 33.75, and for BA this M dash BA, this will be equal to rotation, this same, that is 22.03 minus 187.5 multiplying with the corresponding rotation factor of minus 0.127 minus 0.127, so this will be equal to 21.01, write down here 21.01. So with this you can see here, the values of rotation contribution in consecutive cycles are nearly same, or the difference between them is negligible. You can see here the difference is very negligible, 27.92, 27.96, 33.71, 33.75, 20.98, 21.01. You can see here the difference is almost negligible, it is very negligible, and therefore we can consider these are our final rotation contribution for corresponding members. Okay, so these are our final rotation contributions. Okay, these are our final rotation contributions. Okay, these are our final rotation contribution. Okay, now step number 4, I'll write down side by side. Okay, so step number 4, find final end moment, Okay, now to find the final end moment, okay, we have already calculated the rotation contributions, and to find the final end moment we'll prepare one table, Okay, like this. The first will be fixed end moment, first row will be fixed end moment, first row will be fixed end moment, or I'll maximize this. Okay, first row will be fixed end moment, second row will be rotation contribution, sorry, this will be, second row will be 2 into rotation contribution at near end, okay, and third row will be rotation contribution at far end, and the final row will be final end moment. Okay, we'll draw one table like this. Okay, so row number 1 is fixed end moment, second row is row number 1 is fixed end moment, row number 2 is 2 into rotation contribution at near end, row number 3 is rotation contribution at far end, and row number 4 is final end moment. Okay, now formula for calculating the final end moment, we have formula for calculating final end moment. This is given by the formula final end moment, this is equal to fixed end moment plus 2 into rotation contribution at near end plus rotation contribution at far end, okay. This is the formula, and we have written down the formula in this form, that is fixed end moment plus 2 into rotation contribution at near end plus rotation contribution at far end. So final end moment will be sum of all these will be equal to final end moment. Okay, I'll write down here joints. We have at joint A, we have member AB, here. So sorry, at joint A I have member, at this joint A I have member AB here, member is AB. Fixed end moment for member AB is 0, you can see here. So write down here 0. 2 into rotation contribution at near end, here the rotation contribution is 0, so 2 into 0. Here rotation contribution at far end for this joint, for this member AB, that is 21.01, which is given here. So write down here 21.01. So final end moment will be sum of all these three. So this will be 21.01, this will be 21.01. Okay, so this is how the final end moment for AB is calculated. Okay, next joint is our joint B. We have joint B here. At this joint B we have member BA, member BC, and member BE. These three members are there. These three members are there. At joint B. Okay, so the fixed end moment for BA, you can see here the fixed end moment for BA is 0. Therefore write down here fixed end moment as 0. Write down the fixed end moment here at 0. I consider this as row only. Okay, the fixed end moment is 0 for BA. Okay, now 2 into rotation contribution at near end. For BA, rotation contribution at near end is this 21.01. Just write down 2 into 21.01. 2 into 21.01. Rotation contribution at far end for BA, rotation contribution at A is equal to 0. So this will be 0. So this final end moment, this will be 42.02. Okay. For BC, that is this member BC. For BC, this will be 0.2. For member BC, the fixed end moment is again 0. You can see here the fixed end moment is 0. So consider this as 0. 2 into rotation contribution at near end, 2 into rotation contribution at near end. You can see for BC rotation contribution at near end is 27.96. So 2 into 27.96, and rotation contribution at far end for BC, the rotation contribution at far end is 22.03. So 22.03. So total final end moment here it will be 77.96. And for member BE, and for member BE, again the fixed end moment, you can see here the fixed end moment for BE is minus 187.5. So write down here minus 187.5. 2 into rotation contribution at near end, for BE rotation contribution at near end is 33.75. So 2 into 33.75. rotation contribution at far end, this is 0. So write down this as 0 here, and total final end moment will be sum of this. So we get this is equal to minus 120. Now at joint C, at this joint C, I have two members. You can see here CB and CD. These two members are there. So write down here CB and CD. So CB and CD. Next, in row number 3, we have to write down the fixed end moment for CB. We can see the fixed end moment for CB is 0 because there is no loading. So 0. CD fixed end moment is minus 125. So minus 125. 2 into rotation contribution at near end for member CB. For member CB, this is 22.03. So write down here 2 into 22.03. And rotation contribution at far end for CB is 27.96. So 26.96. Final end moment will be sum of all these this particular column, and that will be plus 72.04. For CD, this fixed end moment is minus 125. Then rotation contribution at near end, this value will be 2 multiplied by rotation contribution at near end, that is this 26.50. So 05. Okay, this is just a minute. Yeah, 50. This is 26.50. Okay, and here rotation contribution at far end, this is 0. So consider this as 0 here. 0. Sum of all these this particular column, this gives you for CD the fixed end moment, the final end moment is minus 125 plus 2 into 20.50. So that is equal to just a minute, there is for CD, just a minute, minus 125 plus 2 into 26, this is 26.50. I by mistake I written down this as 20.50. This is 26.50. 2 into 26.50. So this is equal to minus 72. This is equal to minus 72.04, minus 72.04. Okay, and at this joint D, again we have only one member, that is DC. At this joint D, we have only one member, that is DC. Fixed end moment at DC is 0. 2 into rotation contribution at near end is 0 again. 0. Rotation contribution at far end is 26.50. So 26. This is 26.50. and final end moment will be equal to 26 point, sorry, for DC the fixed end moment, sorry, this fixed end moment is plus 125. So this final end moment, this will be equal to 151.50, and finally at a last joint, that is joint E, at this joint E at this joint E we have only one member, that is EB, so here EB, and the fixed end moment here at EB is 187.5 plus 187.5. rotation contribution at near end is 0, so 2 into 0. Here rotation contribution at far end is this 33.75, and final end moment will be sum of all this particular column, and this will be equal to 221.25 kilonewton meter. So these are your final end moment, okay. And the final bending moment diagram, or this, if we plot the moments here on this particular frame, the moments will be like this. You can see here at joint, sorry, I think, yeah, at joint A, AB is equal to 21.01, you can see here. Here you can see this will be again 21.01 because of symmetry, Here for BA, this will be 42.02, okay. Similarly here we will be having 42.02 due to symmetry. For BC, we will be having 77.96. For this HJ, this will be 77.96 again because of symmetry, and for BE we will be having 220. Okay, I think here it should be 120, okay, this is 120. Again we will be having 120 here due to symmetry. Similarly here we will be having 72.04, here we will be having 72.04, okay. So like this we can use the symmetry of a portal frame for simplifying the procedure of analysis by using Kani's method. This is the final solution of our problem. Okay, is there any query up to this point?